Millions flock to the Grand Canyon each summer for breathtaking views, but this natural wonder hides extreme danger. The canyon is the second deadliest U.S. national park, with nearly 200 fatalities between 2007 and 2023, and an infamous series of accidents in recent years. In 2019 alone, multiple visitors fell to their deaths from the rim while taking photos. The combination of dizzying heights and sometimes foolish tourist behavior, like jumping the safety rails for selfies, has proven fatal. But that's only the beginning. What if I told you that some never even meant to get too close? That the ground beneath them simply gave way? That others, just hours after smiling for pictures, were found lifeless from heat stroke, their water bottles still half full? And that even experienced hikers and photographers, people who came prepared, were swallowed whole by a place that's as merciless as it is magnificent. This isn't just a story about carelessness. It's about how easily wonder becomes danger, and how a single misstep, a moment of distraction, or a change in weather can turn a dream vacation into a tragedy. Stay with us, because what you're about to hear isn't fiction. These are real stories from real people, some who lived to tell the tale, and others who never came back. And by the end, you understand why the Grand Canyon is one of the most dangerous places to be in the summer months of the year. The Grand Canyon, carved by the Colorado River over millions of years, stretching 277 miles in length, plunging over a mile deep in places. It is one of the world's most awe-inspiring sights. But beyond the postcards and panoramic shots, the canyon carries a haunting reputation. Beneath the roar of the river and the whisper of desert wind, there are stories, quiet, terrifying stories etched into every ledge and lost trail. Many of the deaths here happen not far from designated viewpoints. Tourists standing where thousands have stood before, trying to capture the moment, leaning just a little farther for a better angle, or climbing past a warning sign. They don't look reckless, they don't seem foolish, and they never think it will happen to them. But it does. In March 2019, a tourist from Hong Kong was standing near the edge of the canyon's rim, adjusting his camera for a photo. Within seconds, he vanished, falling more than 1,000 feet. His body was recovered by helicopter the next day. Just 1 week later, another visitor slipped near a viewing area on the south rim and fell to his death. 3 fatal falls occurred in just over a week that year, sparking a wave of media attention. But even then, the pattern continued. These deaths don't just happen in remote, hard-to-reach places. They happen right beside walkways, rest stops, and scenic overlooks, areas that feel safe until they're not. One of the canyon's deadliest illusions is its accessibility. It's easy to forget that there are no second chances here. No fences in many areas, no soft landings, just hard rock, steep drops, and a silence that swallows your screams. Then there's the heat. While falls make headlines, the deadliest danger in Grand Canyon National Park isn't always what you see, it's what you don't. Summer temperatures at the bottom of the canyon regularly exceed 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Tourists begin hikes in the cool morning hours, descending into shaded paths with confidence. But as they return, usually around midday, they're met with brutal sunlight, rising temperatures, and a relentless uphill climb. Rangers call it the reverse mountain. You hike down first, then have to fight your way back up when you're already tired, dehydrated, and sun-exposed. In 2021, a 53-year-old woman collapsed and died on the Bright Angel Trail, one of the park's most popular hiking routes. She'd only gone 5 miles. She carried water. She wore the right gear. But she didn't make it out. That same year, an experienced trail runner attempted a rim-to-rim trek in a single day. The nearly 24-mile journey under the searing sun proved too much. His body was found the next morning. The canyon doesn't just challenge your body, it challenges your judgment. It tricks you into thinking you're fine, until suddenly, you're not. Even more haunting are the disappearances. Search and rescue missions are launched dozens of times a year in the park, many triggered by hikers who stray from marked paths in search of shortcuts, secret viewpoints, or solitude. Some are found dehydrated, hallucinating, or unconscious. Others are never seen again. In 2023, a man veered off trail while hiking solo in the western corridor of the canyon. He was found 5 days later barely alive, sunburned, delirious, having survived on muddy rainwater and shade from a rock ledge. He was lucky. Many others are not. Flash floods also strike without warning. What looks like a peaceful slot canyon can become a death trap in seconds. Rain doesn't have to fall where you are. Storms miles away can send walls of water racing through narrow corridors faster than a person can run. In August 2022, a family of 4 was camping along the canyon floor when a flash flood hit before sunrise. The water came fast, violent, and unrelenting. Tents were ripped away. The father was thrown against a rock wall. Their 9-year-old son was swept away. His body was found 2 miles downriver. These events don't make the tourism brochures. They don't end up in the glossy photos, but they are part of the canyon's reality. And then, there are the darker stories. In 2010, a woman shoved her husband off a 200-foot cliff. They'd been taking a sunset walk together, or so she said. What investigators found later was chilling. She had recently taken out a large life insurance policy in his name. It wasn't an accident. It was premeditated murder. There have been suicides, fatal plane crashes, lightning strikes, and yes, even paranormal sightings whispered about in ranger circles late at night. Not everything can be explained, but one thing is certain: the Grand Canyon holds its secrets well. It doesn't scream, it doesn't warn, it waits. And when you forget even for a moment what kind of place you're in, that's when it strikes. Visitors often assume that national parks are like amusement parks, safe, controlled, patrolled. But the Grand Canyon spans over 1.2 million acres. It's wild, it's raw, it's indifferent. Most of the deaths here aren't due to lack of signs or warnings. They're due to overconfidence, misjudgment, underestimating the power of nature. The most haunting stories come not from people doing something foolish, but from people doing something ordinary. A photo, a hike, a romantic walk. In 2020, a newly engaged couple decided to hike down before dawn to catch the sunrise by the Colorado River. They packed light. They brought a single water bottle. They took beautiful photos as the light spilled across the canyon walls. And then the temperature rose. By 10 a.m., the heat was unbearable. The shade disappeared. She collapsed first. He ran for help. Neither made it back. They were found the next day, less than 2 miles from the trailhead. They never even saw the river. Each death in the canyon is a quiet one. The screens are rare. The final moments often unfold in silence and witnessed, unrecorded, and reversed. And that's what makes it so terrifying. The Grand Canyon is stunning, yes. It's spiritual, majestic, but it demands respect. It does not care who you are, not how experienced, not how fit, not how excited. It doesn't ask questions. It doesn't give second chances. So the next time you see a photo of someone standing on the edge of the canyon with their arms raised to the sky, remember, you're seeing the frame, not the fall. Remember that not every story ends in a return trip. And remember that the Grand Canyon doesn't need to come after you. You just have to come unprepared. If this story left you shaken, it should, because the truth is, some of the most beautiful places in the world are also the most unforgiving. And the Grand Canyon, it's not just a tourist attraction, it's a test, and not everyone passes. If you want more stories like this, real, raw, and unforgettable, subscribe to our channel, because the next tale might be closer to home than you think. And remember, not everything breathtaking is meant to be touched. They came for the view. They never expected the fall. Every summer, people arrive by the millions, cameras in hand, dreams in their eyes, some chasing sunsets, some chasing silence, some chasing something they can't explain. But what many don't realize is that Yosemite doesn't care why you came. It only cares that you respect it, and when you don't, it reminds you. The cliffs are silent, the rivers are ancient. The granite doesn't move, but the people do, and sometimes they slip. Yosemite National Park is one of the most beautiful places on Earth. Towering peaks, thundering waterfalls, sunlight spilling over stone like gold. But for all its glory, this place has a dark side. A side that doesn't make it onto postcards. Each year, around a dozen people die here. Some by accident, some by misjudgment, and some simply vanish. It was the summer of 2018, and like many others before her, Jessica Nguyen came to Yosemite chasing beauty. 18 years old, just graduated, she was on a West Coast road trip with friends. Nevada Fall was on their list, a cascading 594-foot waterfall known for its power and panoramic views. And it was there, standing just beyond the safety sign, that Jessica decided she wanted one perfect photo. She stepped out, just a little further off the cliff. Mist soaked her sneakers. The granite was slick beneath her feet. She turned, smiled, raised her arms, then the camera clicked, and then she was gone. No screen, no warning, just air, and then impact. 600 feet. Search and rescue recovered her body hours later, crumpled among the rocks below. Her friends were in shock, and her family, broken. Another life taken by a place that gives so much, and demands everything in return. That same year, just months later, another tragedy. This time at Taft Point, one of Yosemite's most iconic and unguarded cliffs. Meenakshi Murthy and Vishnu Viswanath were travel bloggers, adventurers, storytellers. Their photos were full of light and love, moments frozen at the edge of the world. In one post, just days before their death, Meenakshi sat dangerously close to a drop, her feet dangling over nothing. The caption read, "Is our life just worth one photo?" On October 24th, they were seen at the overlook, smiling, setting up a tripod. The view was incredible. The wind, light, but sometime during that evening, something went wrong. They fell 800 feet. The tripod was found nearby. Their camera shattered. Later reports confirmed they had alcohol in their system. But the fall, that's all Yosemite, and it's not the first time. There's a reason Half Dome, Yosemite's legendary summit, comes with a warning. The final stretch of the climb requires hikers to pull themselves up steel cables bolted into a steep granite face. On a dry day, it's still terrifying, but when it rains, in 2007, Scott McKinney, just 21, fit experience, made the climb despite a sudden storm rolling in. Friends told him to wait. He said he could handle it. Halfway up, his foot slipped. The cable jerked in his hand. He tried to catch himself, but granite doesn't care about confidence. He fell 400 feet, dead before he hit the ground. And that's the pattern here. It's not always about risk. Sometimes it's about a moment, a misstep, a decision made 2 seconds too late. Between 2007 and 2023, Yosemite recorded over 300 deaths, 53 of them from falls alone. But those are just the numbers that leave a body behind, because sometimes the mountain doesn't give anything back. In 1981, a 14-year-old girl named Stacy Harris was on a horseback trip with her father and a small group. They were staying at Sunrise High Sierra Camp, remote, peaceful, surrounded by nothing but granite and trees. Stacy wanted to stretch her legs. An older man in the group offered to walk with her. They set off to look at a nearby lake. He came back alone, said she'd walked ahead, said she just wanted to take a photo, said she'd only been out of sight a minute, but she never returned. The search was massive. Over 100 rangers, dogs, helicopters, 9 days, nothing. Not a backpack, not a shoe, not even a camera. Gone, like the forest swallowed her. Some say she slipped, some say there was foul play. Others believe something stranger happened, and that's where the whispers begin. Missing 411, A theory, a mystery, a pattern. Dozens of people over the years have disappeared in Yosemite. Not fallen, not lost, and later found. Disappeared. Experienced hikers, children, tourists with GPS and trail maps. Gone without a trace, no signal, no scent, no explanation. The National Park Service doesn't keep a centralized database of the missing. Ask them, and you'll get silence, or a form, or nothing at all. But if you talk to the rangers off the record, they know, they've seen it. Dogs that refuse to track, search teams that get turned around in daylight, hikers who report strange sounds, feelings of being watched, glimpses of something just beyond the tree line. Take Michael Fisery, 51, disappeared in 2005, last seen hiking near Upper Yosemite Falls, a camera around his neck, a routine hike. He vanished mid-trail. The only thing they ever found, a candy wrapper, his, or Timothy Barnes, 24, a solo backpacker, went missing in 1988. His journal was found in his tent. The last entry said, "Mountains come me. I feel like I could disappear here." He did. And then there's the land itself. Yosemite is over 1,100 square miles of wilderness. No roads, no lights, no help, just granite, trees, rivers, cliffs, and silence. Storms come without warning, temperatures swing fast. And if you wander off trail, it doesn't take long to vanish. Even experienced hikers underestimate it. Cell service, almost known. GPS, useless in canyons. Maps, only helpful if you're still conscious. The deeper you go, the quieter it gets. And the more you start to wonder, if you screamed right now, who would hear you? Yosemite doesn't hunt you. It waits. It lets you make the wrong decision. And when you do, it doesn't always give you the chance to regret it. Half-domed cables have claimed multiple lives. Climbers lose grip. Rain hits, wind howls, and then silence. Even those who survive sometimes don't return the same. Panic attacks, nightmares, a lingering sense that something watched them. Not an animal, not a person, something old. The park has stories, not the ones in brochures. The ones whispered around ranger stations, shared in quiet voices, like the woman seen walking the mist trail in a dress from the 1800s. No shoes, no face, just drifting, fading into the fog. Or the campers who heard footsteps circling their tent at night, over and over. But when they opened the zipper, nothing, no prints, no sound, just the smell of something wet and old. Most of it is probably just stories, probably. But Stacy Harris never came back, and neither did dozens of others. That's why the park signs don't say be careful. They say you could die. Because out here, nature doesn't negotiate. Beauty doesn't mean mercy, and granite doesn't care about how many followers you have. If you visit Yosemite, remember, stay on the trail. Respect the edge, don't chase the photo. Don't test the cliff, because once you're falling, there's no coming back. This is the place where angels rest on stone, where waterfalls roar louder than screams, where shadows stretch longer than the light. And sometimes, it takes someone, just one more name on the list, one more story left untold. Because this place doesn't need your story to be beautiful, but it might decide to make you part of its own. And once it does, you won't be coming back.